So let's do the discussions now on AM Talk. And I'll do a review of the stories on the front as well as the back pages of the papers and whatever topical issue we would want to discuss this morning. I have in the studio my extreme left, Member of Parliament for Banda in the Bonafo region, Ahmed Ibrahim. Thanks for joining me. And Susan Eduamankwa is the first Vice Chairperson of the CPP. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very fine.
Right. Let's take a look at this very issue of the national security dismantling the toll booth at Legon. And the excuse that was given was that it was causing traffic. Because according to the National Security Coordinator, Colonel Retired Larry Gbevlo-Lati, the operation of the toll booth had been creating heavy vehicular traffic on the Legon-Medina Road since the exercise started on February 1. And motorists described the toll booth about 70 meters from the Oponglo Junction traffic light as a public nuisance. One person who tends to use the route very well is Susan. I lie?
Very true.
Was it causing traffic?
I want to be charitable here and say that that's an obvious untruth. Look, in the first few days, yeah, okay, when they started charging that, it did cause traffic. But now it doesn't cause traffic. Because people, you know, were arguing with the toll collectors, etc., and that caused the traffic. As of 2 weeks, you know, after the first week, last week, it had stopped causing traffic. Okay. And then, you know, they even moved up to the runabout. You know, they started not at where the toll booths were, but they moved further up to the runabout. And they put several of them there so that it would not cause traffic. They also put a sign at the South Legon gate to say that alternate route to Legon campus to ensure that. Is it all because the actions were causing traffic? No, it was. Look, there used to be more traffic there even when the toll booths. Are you being realistic, Susan? I am being realistic. I'm being truthful. Look, I even remember 2 days ago, my work colleague saying that, hey, if this was supposed to be a deterrent, it really is working, because they started free flow of traffic in that place. The first week, no doubt, the first week there was traffic. I mean, even I said, oh, look, this thing is, but it started clear up because they started putting measures to ensure that by the time he said he went there, the traffic had stopped. There wasn't that much traffic. And anyway, sometimes in that place, traffic does build up. You get it. And it had nothing to do with the toll booths. Even before the toll booths came, sometimes, you know, once in a while, on off days, traffic does build up in that place. You know, just because people use it as a thoroughfare, those who live in Achimota, Kiseman, etc., used to use it as a thoroughfare. And so sometimes they're coming from Accra, the traffic builds up, and it does go into the middle. It has nothing to do with the toll booths. I mean, he should produce the evidence to say that, look, people used to spend 10 minutes in traffic. Now they are spending 1 hour. Look, I was coming from Latte the other day. I fell into traffic, heavy traffic around the Amehia side. Why? Because of the toll booth. Have they gone to demolish that toll booth? Have they gone to demolish it? When you are going to Kaswa and there's a toll booth there, and just last week I went to Cape Coast, I was in that traffic for almost 2 hours. Have we gone to destroy that toll booth? Is it the duty of the National Security Coordinator to go and destroy toll booths? We'll come to the issue about duty. But you do agree, having cited all the examples at Amrahia, you're talking about Cape Coast, when you're going to Kaswa, you reach Muri, there's a toll booth there, etc. You do agree that toll booths cause traffic? Toll booths cause traffic. Okay, so do you agree that this very toll booth... Yes, no, I'm saying that toll booths do cause traffic. This very toll booth, Susan, let me ask you. They have managed it in such a way that it was not causing traffic. Are you being realistic? I am being realistic. It's not about I'm realistic. I'm telling you the truth. Because you work on the campus. No, but it has nothing to do. It's very convenient for you to say that. It is not. Why is it convenient for me? Why? The toll booth money, does it get into my pocket?
No, it definitely won't.
It won't.
It's meant for the roads.
Yes.
It's usually collected.
And I am sure there are people in Legon who work in Legon who think the toll booth is not right. And so, I mean, why should you think that because I work in Legon, automatically I think that the toll booth thing is right? Okay. I am telling you the truth as it stands. Whether the collecting the toll is right or not. We are talking about the facts on the ground and the truth. You haven't asked me whether I agree with the toll booth or not. That's not the issue. We are talking about whether it was causing traffic or not. And I'm telling you that in the first week it did, like every new thing. Subsequently, they had put measures into place to stop the traffic from building up, and it had stopped.
Okay. Sir, your comment on this one. That the excuse the national security gave was that it was causing traffic.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Honest to my cherished viewers. As a matter of fact, there is a causal relationship between toll booth and traffic, as you have put it clearly here. And the case of Legon's toll booth is a special case. And as to whether it causes traffic or does not cause traffic, I think the manner in which the demolition took place too is something that is also questionable. But this is something that we all know the circumstances surrounding it.
No, we'll talk about the action taken by national security, whether the action taken was right or not. And well, I have a difficulty with a microphone, technical problem. It happens all the time, right? Well, we'll still continue the discussions though. Or taking a short break. When we come back, we'll continue. Okay, you know, the issue about whether the toll booth still causes traffic or would have caused traffic is an issue we're still discussing. Even offset, yeah.
Like I rightly started, there is a causal relation between the two. Toll booths
and traffic
nationwide, wherever they are, they cause traffic. And that is something that is obvious. You don't need a rocket scientist to tell you that toll booths, wherever they are...
Because Susan has agreed. She's the one who posited that very argument.
When you go to Sunyani, from in between Sunyani to Kumasi, you see that you pass through about 3 toll booths. And that is why I wanted to go into the merit and demerit of the demolition. But I say
go into the merit.
Clearly speaking, my brother, I am a legislator. And I think before fees and charges and all those things are levied, it is only Parliament that has the power, which we have delegated soon to them.
That subject is in court, isn't it?
Exactly, which we have delegated.
So let the court decide.
Exactly. Some of those functions to lesser judicial, legislative bodies. But in this particular case, where Ghana has reached, I think what Legon has done, Legon is a research institution, as we all know. And they are supposed to be the eye of our developmental process in the country. Well, so there are certain steps when they take, you don't have to jump into a conclusion without interrogating the action and the motive, the intentions behind the action thoroughly before you take action. Clearly speaking, I am a legislator, but much of my powers have been usurped upon. But before we take a conclusive action in jumping into this, I think the matter should be given 100% interrogation. What Legon has done
is the right thing.
That is why I say that unless total interrogation is done onto it, you cannot say either it is right
or wrong.
And I'm saying this simply because a step has to be taken. We always say from even the junior class of learning about administrative reforms, that administrative reforms are always brought with faced with challenges and resistances. And this is one of the major administrative reforms in the country that can help to bring the private sector, the national institutions or independent other state institutions to be able to partner with government to ensure optimal development of the country. So what Legon has done,
it's a good initiative.
It's a good initiative to me, in my private capacity.
But you think that it's going to be a landmark precedent, right?
Exactly. That is where I was coming into. And we have something we call regularization. If due process was not followed in putting it there, I think what action has to be taken is a matter of regularization. Do we regularize this? Or you put 2 questions. If it was government that constructed the road, as Legon said that, oh, we went for loan to come and construct this road, and therefore the best way to recoup the money to make sure that we don't default The loan that we have gone for is to toll it. So if government had gone in for similar loan and constructed it, putting a toll booth there would have been a major challenge for government. Clearly speaking, you and I will agree. So if the institution itself has taken that bold initiative that we don't want to join the long queue, it makes sure that it takes a very longer period for government to come and prioritize our road and make sure that they go from load to come and
you think it should be lauded?
Exactly. I think in that category, in that perspective, Legon must be commended. The authorities must be commended for the action.
Now I'm confused. Okay, I'll get back to you on that because you're a legislator and we'll do a critical discussion on the subject. Now, well, the toll booth has been demolished. What do you make of the action by the national security and the coordinator coming on radio and TV to defend the action?
It's indefensible. I think it was brutish. I think it was crude.
Really?
Really?
Mind your language.
No, it was brutish. Look, it was brutish. It was crude. It was discourteous. It was just, you know, despicable.
What's discourteous about it?
Look, one, I heard him myself. He said he didn't need to tell the Vice Chancellor. He came there and he left his card with one of the security guys. Leaving your card with one. You think I don't have cards of big people in high places? Eh? You think I don't have cards? I can't. You think that everybody knows the Minister for Health? You think everybody does? And if I happen to have a card and I go somewhere and I leave it there and say that the Minister of Health was here and that and you think that somebody should take
so you think his
no, wait, let me finish.
So
don't cut in.
Okay.
Don't cut in. He does that. Then the card goes to the head of security. The head of security is not in charge of those toll booths. He didn't put those toll booths out. He cannot say those toll booths should be removed.
So he should have consulted the Vice Chancellor?
He should have gone to the Vice Chancellor and had, in the first place, that is not national security. Look, when I was coming right now, I came through Christ the King. I go to Christ the King to go to church there. In front of the Flagstaff House, there's always traffic around this time. Go there, it will be there. Isn't that a risk? Should we break down the church there? That we say that, oh, it's the church that is causing the traffic. And that this is the
but
way
in front of the church is not being told.
No, it has nothing to do with toll. You see, there's no toll booth there. But if you go there right now, there's traffic. We can blame the church, or maybe blame those police flats that are there, and say that it's those police flats that cause the traffic in front of the Flagstaff House, and that's the national security thing. So let's go break it down. That's the equivalent. That's what we are dealing with. Look, he didn't bother to consult the university authorities, those who actually were in charge of the toll booth, not the security in charge. He has nothing to do with it. He is told, he is assigned to do a job, and that's what he does. He could have discussed it with them. What is the MTTU doing? What is the MTTU doing? Look, if you want to know whether that place was causing traffic, let's go ask the MTTU, the policemen who stand there in the morning, whether the traffic going into Legon causes that traffic that builds up from the Legon traffic lights to Tetakwashi. Let's go ask them the truth, as it is.
No, you apply there every day, so once you tell me something, I take it.
You understand? Why isn't there a motor traffic unit? Couldn't they have discussed it with the university? The university, in trying to alleviate the traffic that they think it may cause, put alternate routes there, moved the people up. Look, if it was stopping the toll, it has not stopped the toll, because the university is still collecting the toll. They have just moved up into it. All you have to do is they moved up towards the mosque. They're collecting the toll there. If you want to go towards the halls, they still collect the toll. If that was their intention, you know, it has backfired, and it has just shown the national security to be arrogant. Let's say something in this country. Power is transient. Huh? You may be in power today and arrogate to yourself all sorts of things and do all sorts of things, but you forget that it will not be
You're
there.
saying it's an abuse of office?
It really is an abuse of office. It's really, look, why could there not be a discussion? This toll booth thing will be dealt by rational men who will sit down, maybe in a court of law or maybe in parliament, by rational men, and then make the decision. It's not going to be decided by British force. It's not. So I think that, look, we ought to be very careful in this country. If you are against the toll, that's a different thing. But let's remove the action of being against the toll from this British action.
Okay.
You get it?
What do you make of the action in itself, Honorable?
Technically, that's why I'm talking. We are in a democratic dispensation where due processes of the law must be followed, and I think that is why I use.
We have a national security office.
That's why I use the
and it's managed by a coordinator, and the coordinator says that something is not a security conscious effort that has been undertaken. It feels like it causes traffic, and that's a security threat.
The point that was put here, I agree with it when he said it causes traffic, and that's why I said that there is a positive causal relationship between traffic and road tolls. However, on this particular one, it's a unique case. And we are in a democratic dispensation where due processes of the law must be taken into consideration. So
you are saying for every law there's an exception?
We are saying that it was an illegal, so long as they did not receive parliamentary approval. Therefore, what we have to do to encourage or to make sure that we legitimize it,
to regularize it,
okay, so that other state institutions will partner government. And I'm talking in terms of the long-run effect. You understand?
On efforts of private sector
partnering government
or quasi-government institutions too.
Look at our rules. Look at Legon then and Legon now. Now that they are...
So you're saying the Vice Chancellor has done well?
It is a very nice initiative.
You're doing praise singing. Is that not what you're doing? Just pray.
We should not be going that conservative way of making sure that it's only government alone that should develop our state institutions. The leadership of those institutions must come up with positive and pragmatic initiatives to make sure that you go there and brighten the corner wherever you shine. So what government should have done, or what national security, the long-run effect of it must have been taken into consideration. Then you look how much loan did you procure to make sure that you construct this road, and how much toll should you charge levy on it, taking into cognizance of the fact that the population there are mostly students. Therefore, the price that should be told should not be equal to what we collect from the general public. All those are issues that have to be done.
That rather should have been talked about.
That should have been the matter now.
Okay.
Now, government, Legon is a government institution. Government must make sure that he help Legon to be able to repay
that loan.
If
they say they don't want them to collect.
And this loan,
all right.
And this loan cannot be part of the...
Is it the budget? Is it part of the budget?
It can be. He's saying it can be.
That is why I'm coming in.
He's supporting the action, and now I'm confused. So because he's a member of parliament.
Exactly, clearly speaking. So if regularization does not take place, now how to get back the loan is a very serious challenge. And because of that, other similar institutions will feel reluctant to make sure that...
And you feel that's not good for development?
It's not good for development.
Let me say something.
What do you think about the whole initiative in itself?
Do you know where CSIR is? CSIR, is it used as a thoroughfare to bypass traffic? Is it? Look, it was not put there because the population of...
Which CSIR? The main CSIR?
Yes, the main CSIR.
The one just around?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it where it is? Is it a thoroughfare? Do you use that as a thoroughfare?
No, it's used all the time. But it's not a thoroughfare.
Nobody goes through CSIR to get to anywhere. Does it? Does anybody do that?
No.
No. You just pass in front of the road there. You don't even turn if you are not going there. You don't even turn into it. There are many government institutions. CSIR cannot toll their roads inside CSIR and say that if you are coming inside there, they'll charge a toll. You understand? This is a unique situation where people were using the Legon roads as a thoroughfare. You understand? Those from Kiseman wanting to bypass
and people
traffic,
still do.
And people still do. You understand?
And they will always.
And they will continue to do it. The university tried to say, look, if you the toll thing, if you are somebody who lives in Kiseman and you are going to use the road every day, come for a sticker. Pay a certain amount of money.
Maybe for a year or 6 months or whatever.
There's a year.
A quarter.
You have a year. You have a half year. You have a quarter year. Pay that. Put it there. You don't need to pay tolls every time, and so you can go and come as much as you please.
Makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
So that we can pay back our loan.
You see, these were some of the things that you find that the traffic will start. It had started easing up because those people who are knowing that every day we're going to pass there, all you have to do is to go and get a sticker and then pass there without stopping to pay tolls. It will just happen. It will just happen with people who are doing the one-shot and thing. Like every change that happens, people will resist it. The system will have teething problems, and then you refine it, etc., etc. the Legon didn't put that toll booth there because of the students. They put it there because people are using it as a thoroughfare. And those were the reasons why those roads deteriorated as fast as they did. You understand? And then let's face it, the government has not put in any money in Legon to build anything. Everything that Legon is building is being generated by them. Look, even last month, do you know when we were paid? The government check bounced. Do you know when we were paid? We were paid on the 8th of this month.
We're not discussing your checks.
No, we are not. We are talking about, this is a government who can't even pay its workers. Okay, then he comes to you and tells you that, oh, I'll pay for a road. You went to get a loan of 8 million.
Well, the government has come out to say they're in a peculiar situation.
Listen, I'll pay.
They're in a peculiar situation.
Not in a peculiar situation. It is this kind of thing that has ended up with the city falling so fast because we are paying for things outside.
Well, your comments like this are said to be part of the comments that are generating panic.
What panic? What panic? Look, this is reality we are facing. It has nothing to do with panic. Look. This is a government who says, I'll put it in my budget and I'll pay for it. What about maintenance? How will those roads be made? You finish paying off the loan. Then how is that road going to maintain itself?
Well, we do understand.
Why do we put tolls? Haven't we paid for the motorway long ago? Didn't we pay for the motorway?
But we're still tolling.
We're still
because
tolling
we have to maintain other roads and build other roads.
And build other roads. You maintain it. You build other things. You understand. Then of course you can also put it as a deterrent for those who have nothing to do in the university but are just using it as a thoroughfare. Look, the Gimpa Road is there. They can use the Gimpa Road to Kiseman.
That's a main public road.
It's a public road. Nobody is tolling that. It's a first-class road. The Gimpa
Relax, let me ask you a question.
You know,
let me ask a question. Can I ask a question? Okay. Now, so you think the action of Legon to toll the road just because they want to take a loan or a financial facility to rehabilitate roads on the campus is justified? Don't you think that the other side of the argument, particularly also coming from even members of parliament, not necessarily him because he's on the other side, that this could be a precedent which could be replicated by other public sector institutions?
Well, if the situation...
Which have similar environments.
If they have the similar environment. If they do. If they have a similar environment.
That is,
the
areas are used as thoroughfare, etc.
The important thing is that accountability. You get it. Let's make sure that there's accountability.
Okay. So if you're collecting, you need to account how much.
How much are you making? What are you using it for? Because you're a public institution. You get that. I mean, those are the checks and things that we should be putting into place. Look, I don't know whether Legon, the toll thing is legal or illegal. Like he said, even the lawmakers there's equipoise. In it, there's so much uncertainty in it whether it was
well,
legal.
There's no uncertainty. There's divided.
I don't think so. If it is illegal,
it is only Parliament that has
no. I think that there are certain circumstances.
That's why it's before the court to be interpreted. Please. So let's not go into constitutional issues. That's why we're not the Supreme Court.
And once it's at the court, Parliament cannot.
There is no need.
No, you can, but to a certain extent.
Stealing is illegal. Whatever is illegal. If you are taking money from people, extortion is illegal. You get it. Okay. So why would now Parliament, or will it go to court for somebody to say that you get it?
I need to go to you, but I want to ask one more question.
That means there is an uncertainty about it, and the court is supposed to decide on that uncertainty. You get it? So for my mind, I think that we should wait for no. I think you see. The whole action of this, you hear people make all sorts of comments. If Legon wants to raise money, is this the way they should raise money? They should be more ingenious than that. Other people are raising money elsewhere, and then they had black tie dinners and things. Legon does it. Look, some of the halls were built by alumni. So, except that all of us here who are alumni, how many of us are contributing? When KNUST were saying that people should contribute 1% of their salary every time to build a hall there, when asked whether UST alumni over 10,000 of them, whether they've even paid to put one cement block.
So it's up to the authorities.
You get it. The authorities,
they have their responsibility.
I don't think that is the way.
So my next question is, this whole initiative now that has been mooted and also being practiced, where we have PPPs around, they tend to complement government effort. Do you think is the right way to go?
Definitely. You know, government cannot do everything. Okay? We should move on to the principle of subsidiarity, where we have decentralized so that at the smallest unit should be capable of doing things on their own without relying on central government. We should move to those to that principle, okay? Where if you are a unit and you can do things for yourself, you should be able to do it. Look at GIMPA. When Professor Adai started, what flack?
It was in a very bad state,
and he got all sorts of flack. And today,
he was charging. Everybody was complaining why he was charging fees. Yes.
And today, look at it.
And this has become something that has even been replicated in other universities.
And will probably continue. Let's look at the merits and the demerits of it. If if it is totally illegal, let the university.
Do you think that PPPs are the way to go? Why?
My brother, clearly speaking, my sister is coming to where I was. They say it is the way to go. And that is why I will not come and sit here and challenge this and endorse the action taken
by the National Security Coordinator.
That's clearly, well, I'm looking at the long-run effect of the initiative. And I'm also looking at, had it not been Legon itself, if the central government had gone in for loan and constructed the road, it would have been the most difficult thing for central government to do, to go and put a road in Legon. You see how students would have mobilized in their numbers with the backing of the authority to challenge it. So now that somebody has done your work for you, what you have to do, even if it is illegal,
support it by regularizing.
So the key word here,
so you think that even the action by government in itself is not forthcoming?
Yes, let's sit down. The court, if the court rule that the action is illegal, then what is the next action that should be taken? Parliament can go along to regularize it. It happens everywhere. So once you do that, then Legon, Legon now has a serious challenge. Legon was ahead of GIMPA. Now, if they are not rubbing shoulders...
No, GIMPA can rub shoulders with Legon. Legon is a very big institution. Don't go there.
It's a very good institution, of course. I'm an alumni of Legon.
I know.
Right. But as a matter of fact, GIMPA now, the status of GIMPA has clearly changed. And like you rightly put it, Professor Stephen Ade was a Ghanaian. He took all those initiatives with...
Was criticized.
And the difficulty lies in the head that wear the crowns. So, definitely, now that we are in difficult, serious, and turbulent era, we must make sure that such actions should not be taken. And that is clearly speaking that we must endorse...
Okay, so now the National Security Coordinator took an action, gave a directive. His what do they operatives? That I always find it very Cold War word, operatives. His operatives have gone to demolish the place. What action do you think the president needs to take? I'm asking you.
No, that was a structure that was demolished. Let's wait for the aftermath of the court. After that, the president and everybody, we must all look at it.
No, the action of the National Security Coordinator, I mean.
I think on this particular case, the argument was that it causes traffic, and therefore, as a national security,
no, Susan said it's not a very legitimate argument.
He has addressed.
It's a moot argument.
So how best can
she says it's a moot
how
argument.
best can we make sure that we reposition the toll booth in a very strategic location after the court ruling has come? Because the president is also the custodian of the university in trust. He is the one in charge of the whole nation. So Legon is no exception. And therefore, he must make sure that whatever steps must be taken to make sure that the loan is repaid should be done. Then there are a lot of difficulties in line with the toll that is being collected. How much should be collected? What should be the duration for the collection? So you think
those rather should be the issues of focus?
These are supposed to be the issues, and then the way forward.
Okay.
Maintenance and all those issues.
So you think this is the way to go now? You go and collect your loan. That is if it's accepted by central government, then you go ahead.
Exactly.
All right. Now, talking about security, we seem to be having difficulty with securities all the time. In your constituency, 2 arrested at Ajay for obstructing police. I haven't had your own opinion on the action itself. And now, even the makeshift tents, etc., that had been put on the land by those who had been evicted, ultimately was destroyed by security operatives or personnel.
Well, I mean, on this land issue, they are conflicting. Look, when the thing happened at first, I read in 2 separate newspapers that the Parliamentary Committee on something has sat down and found the action of TDC to be lawful. Then all of us, yes, I wish I could.
It was a wrong report, I think.
It was a wrong report in 2 different newspapers. Okay, whatever it is, it was in the newspaper. So I said, really, maybe what should have happened is that they should have put a much more better face to it if they have the right to the land, you know, and things like that. But you also find out that our people are stubborn. And people always, you know, we have this thing, oh, and though they come and, you know, so people think that, oh, they will come and make a fuss and stop, and then they will continue to put on buildings there. You understand? And I mean, this is our attitude towards it. So sometimes you don't even know how to put a human face to it, because you would have given people 1 year and they will still not stop doing what they are doing and continue. And so sometimes, you know, this is the result of it.
Okay.
When that report came out, we were all like, whoa, okay, now how do we alleviate the devastation? You get it?
Of the victims.
Of the victims, yes, because you've done an action, people have been affected. You need to, do immediate steps to stabilize the situation and then think long term. What is it that we can do to help these people? Because you cannot have children and babies and families out in the battling the weather, as it is. So that is how we're looking. Of course, now it's come that the parliamentary group again are going to look at the whole thing to review it. I understand they were going there yesterday, and then the national security were clearing the debris. Meanwhile, I think the committee had asked that they wanted to see the debris, because I heard the MP saying that she wanted to show evidence that it was 500 houses, not 65 houses as TDC said, etc. From my mind, whether it's 500 or 600 or 50 houses have been demolished, people are out there on the streets. But they wanted to see the evidence. I don't think that it was necessary for the TDC or the national security to go and clear the debris if they have nothing to hide and they are in the right. A day or two to clear your debris, which has been there for more than 2 weeks, would not have
resulted in anything at all.
You understand? Giving the parliamentary group the evidence on hand to assess the situation properly, and if they are taking a decision, they can take a decision based on what they have seen, etc., etc. So I think that some of these things are necessary. Even if we are right, okay, even if TDC was right, in the case that if TDC was right and the parliamentary group want to go there and assess it, there's no need for us to get into this situation. We don't need to.
You think it's needless?
I think it's needless.
Okay.
You get it. I think that we can handle things in a much better manner, so that public institutions are not always coming against the people. You get it. People will always do the wrong things and would need to be corrected. We need to enforce the law. I mean, that is a major problem in this country, enforcing the law, okay? But in doing that, we also have to ensure that we are putting not the law. I mean, not the people made for the law, but the law made for the.
So we have to be flexible in the way
we have to know how to
enforce
handle
the law.
Yes, no, we have to enforce the law,
okay.
But we have to know how to deal with it so that we ameliorate all the devastation and
the human problems that may arise.
That may arise.
Okay, what's your comments on this very now the efforts by the security agencies who are operating there to make sure they clear the area, because the demolition has been undertaken, but we still have the victims, some of them still there, because they still don't have places to live, and well, they need to lay their head somewhere.
Roland, the key word there is they still don't have places to lay their heads. And if you go to the constitution of our country, Article 34(2) clearly speaking, it is the responsibility of the government to be able to make sure that these steps are taken for the realization of these basic needs of every citizenry in Ghana. I think food, clothing, and shelter. Now, all these three things and many more have become a very serious challenge to those inhabitants who are at Ajay-Kodwo. Ever since this issue came, I'm one of the few Ghanaians who found it very difficult to comment on it. On one hand, I know the recalcitrant nature or the stubborn nature, like my sister has said, of most of us. You are given a portion of land and you are told that, oh, as for Ghana, if you want to go through the due process before you start building, then you will not build today. So start doing something while you are also processing the documents. And when you come to even where we are now, most of the buildings here, you find it very difficult that most of them do not have land titles. We live in a country where even the Lands Commission itself is having houses without land titles. So therefore, it was difficult for me to blame the people of Ajay-Kodwo, saying that they did not have the land titles and they built there, therefore the houses must be demolished. When even the issuer of land titles himself does not have land titles to the buildings of their own design. So it was difficult for me. So ever since
to reconcile
the two. Then the other way around too, you look at the nature of the demolition itself, and that too was also more than worse.
Very unhuman.
Exactly. So it became very difficult for some of us to comment on those things. Where because we know the historical perspectives of Ghana buildings in general in the whole country.
The trend.
The trend. So
you go and get the land.
Exactly.
Charlie, and Shasintama. Now
you yourself will go and write on it, stop work. You will not wait for the AMA or KMA or the
member of Parliament. You should have a lot of experience in doing that.
Oh, you have to be on the ground before you can win elections in this country. You must know every problem, most of the problems, and
okay, so it's a problem you know. It's not an action you've undertaken.
Exactly, and sometimes you speak with the researchers for them to tell you the true nature of those things. So it was difficult for some of us to comment on it. Then you come to the issue of who is behind that exercise that is being carried away over there. We are in a democratic country. This issue came to Parliament. My sister said Parliament okayed it. That was a wrong reportage that came in one of our...
What took place in Parliament?
Exactly. Then there was the genuine one. That is the second rendition that she gave. Parliament said, the Speaker of Parliament set up a committee and gave them 1 month after the Member of Parliament representing the people of Atema West presented a statement on the issue on the floor of Parliament. So this statement was referred to a committee that was considered to go and do thorough investigation. My brother, if you come to Ghana, Parliament is the heart of democracy. Parliament is the true representation of the people, including the people of Ajay-Kodwo. A committee was set by the Speaker of Parliament to go and do thorough investigation. There was a controversy when the statement was read. Some people said 500 houses, some said 50 houses, some said... So 65. The Speaker is 65. So the Speaker set up a committee to go and do this investigation. The committee was to go there yesterday from the people solely to be told that National Security said because of security concerns and all those things they couldn't go. That's my problem. So if Parliament itself did not get the opportunity to get access to the investigation that was supposed to be carried out, they did not get the security backing. There was security threat at Ajay-Kodwo, and because of that they couldn't go there. So how can we get the facts on the ground? So on the day that the report is going to be given, there will be difficulty in finding consensus as to how best we can address this challenge. So most of us were not happy yesterday when we heard that this was the problem exactly. And the difficulty or the danger of it now is houses have been demolished. The debris are being collected. So if the investigator does not have access to the place, or the fact-finding committee does not have access to the place, to be able to count or to identify
the number of houses,
the
debris is being collected.
Now,
then which one is going to be used for
the end or
investigative purposes?
Then exactly the negative consequences that I'm foreseeing in the near future or in the far future is that this case, somebody can even take it to court. I think by now, steps must have been taken to do that. So when should a court ruling come that TDC was wrong, and that the resettlers there whose houses have been demolished are innocent and therefore must be compensated. If you go and they say it was not 500 houses, but rather it was 1,000 houses,
so TDC will pay compensation.
How is the state going to get a true picture of what took place?
Don't worry.
Something has been done. Whether it is wrong or not, that is not where we should be going now. Okay. But we must give access to Parliamentary committee that has been set up to be able to do the thorough investigation for the truth to come out, so that steps will be taken to address it. Right now, the question is not who is wrong, who is right, who is this. But they are Ghanaians, they are faced with problems. Let's identify the problem and see how we can solve it. So some of us are in a very uncomfortable position so long as this issue of Ajekojo demolition is concerned.
Because Honorable said something, that Parliament is the true representation of the people of Ghana. The people of Ghana are living in that demolished place.
And they have representation.
They are so afraid of their skin that they could not tell the national security, well, if the place is unsafe, then do something because we intend to go whether you like it or yes. That is the kind of bold people I would have expected them, bold statement I would have expected from them. That they say, well, we are still going there because we are the representatives of Ghana. The Ghanaians are on that land. Whatever is happening, that we are going there. Are you
questioning their commitment to it?
I am questioning their commitment to it. Okay. That's the same report that the place is not safe. Then they decide that okay, which will sit in our parliament. I think that I think that they should have told national security that, well, we don't care. We are still going there to verify for ourselves what is there, and so make sure that our safety is guaranteed. That is what national coordinator is supposed to be, not breaking down toll booths. Making sure that people are safe, not telling people that they are unsafe, so it should remain unsafe.
Was
it safe for the people who were shot? Was it safe for the people when the whole place became and they were shooting into the air? Was it safe? They created that unsafe thing. Could they not have guaranteed the safety of the parliamentarians and ensured that without all those things going on, the people, they would have just gone, verified it? How long would that have taken? Half a day?
The minority group in Parliament has described the fall of the CD and the current problems we're having to bad economic management by the John Mahama administration. I mean, this talk has all been going, but they held a press conference and they enumerated a number of issues in the current situation, and then this very gentleman who seems to be the minority spokesperson on finance, Dr. Kutuose, one-time Minister of State for Finance, and said perhaps even government needed to withdraw its current budget and put in a new budget because its expenditure activities or patterns will be changed because of the current trends. Would you agree that it's because of bad economic management, etc.?
I'm not an economist, okay? So I cannot...
Just layman, because we are not economists.
The layman's view of mine is that things are bad, are really bad.
Oh, how?
Oh, look, I'm in the pharmaceutical business. Now, drugs that were bought maybe sometime in November, we bought them, the dollar at that time was 2.1, 2.2, okay? We bought the drugs, we've sent them to government hospitals, okay? They have not paid, and now the dollar is 3 cedis. Even if you go, even if they were to pay now, it's eaten into not just the little profit that you have,
but the
capital of it. You think that for me is not bad? I mean, it really is bad, especially for a lot of pharmacists out there. I mean, I'm talking about people that are...
But why is that bad economic management by government?
Well, I don't know, because they are in charge. We voted for you to be in charge so that the things that we cannot handle, you handle them. We voted for you because you made certain promises to us that life will be better, that we will be in a better Ghana. So for me, the buck stops with you. You get it, because you are managing the economy. If I have a role to play, tell me my role that I should play for you to achieve the better Ghana. If I don't know my role to help you achieve my vision, and I'm going about my legitimate duties, and you think that I can do better, I don't know. And I have put you in charge. to come and work for me so that life will be better for me and my children. I didn't put you in charge for it to be worse. I mean, look, when you give birth to your child, and you cannot pay fees and etc., 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 does the child care whether the economy is bad or not? He just knows that he wants to go to school and daddy must pay fees. you get it. I mean, if yours is to sit the child and say, okay, maybe you have to sell ice water now so that it will support something so that I can help you pay your fees. But if you are just, I mean, pick an ordinary Ghanaian from the street and ask him, what is the overall vision of this country that made them vote for the NDC? And how are they helping the NDC to achieve that for all of us? Probably they don't have any idea. You understand? Or, I mean, and they will tell you that, well, it is bad for them. And it is bad because, look, if you are taking money to the market and that money is not enough to feed your family, because even now in the market, they'll tell you that dollar ninety, because dollar ninety, tomato scrap has gone up.
There's always an excuse.
There's always an excuse.
Okay.
Don't say petrol has gone up, and petrol has gone up.
You're a deputy majority.
Petrol has gone up. Even when the price of oil fell, we could not reduce our petrol. Why? Because our city has depreciated. You get it. Is this my fault? It's the managers of the economy who are not...
Deputy Majority Whip.
Yeah.
You have all these difficulties.
Roland.
Now, in the House, you have the minority blaming government for bad economic management.
Yeah, clearly speaking, I think...
These are serious accusations, really.
It's a serious and unfounded accusations and illegitimate demand.
Why?
You cannot... But you don't draw budget to score 100%. A budget is a provisional estimate.
Well, it's not necessarily about the budget.
Exactly.
I guess the concern is about...
Should withdraw the
well, those
budget.
are one of the things they said. They said, it was because we have the CD depreciating. We're not getting the right economic variables well, and then we're not going to meet our fiscal targets. And these are worries that anybody who tends to watch the economy will be worried about.
Roland, why do you set a goalpost and then later you shift it when conditions, then you expand it? I don't think that is the solution. The solution is the structural difficulties as a country that we have, which he, as a leading minority leader, this minority spokesperson on finance,
should know,
and the former finance minister should have been proposing now. I don't think shifting the goalpost will solve the problem. As a country, we live in a country where we have, you and I agree that we have structural difficulties. He knows. And you see, one thing is, he himself knows that the economy then is not the economy today.
Well, Susan said that's why you elected into office.
Exactly. That is why I'm coming to, and that is why he is also part of government. As a ranking member on finance, you are part of government. As a member of parliament, you are part of government. So if Ghanaians, like Susan is saying, will not come collectively to solve the problem, then we'll say, oh, this one, will be shifting the blame from this one. I don't think he's being paid to do that job. So if you go and say that will because of this, therefore let's withdraw the new old budget and bring a new budget, I don't think that will be the solution. We live in a country where we are claimed to be in a middle income status, where all the inflows that we were getting are no longer coming, where our the economy has become an import-driven economy,
caused by
where tastes and preferences are geared towards only imported goods and not local goods, caused by you and I, who have been fed on foreign imported goods to the extent that we have not even lost preference for the locally made goods, and we are all shifting towards the imported material. That is the cause of all those things. And when you keep on buying without you yourself producing anything, you should know.
So we need to change.
Exactly. There must be an attitudinal change for the Ghanaian to know that, look, this is where we are now.
So how do we change?
Exactly. This is where we are. It's not only a matter of leadership. It's attitudinal change. You said your father, all that you are looking for is that your daddy should provide your school fees. You should know that
how do we change? You are just
exactly.
You are massaging the issue. How do we change?
This is part of the educational thing that you and I will have to know, that we identify that this is our problem. Let's change our tastes and preferences.
What is the government doing to bring that attitude?
That is the lamentation Ghanaians keep on lamentation. What is the government doing? You are part of the government as an opposition member.
I like to end the show.
You are a stakeholder. You are part of the government. Don't say what What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Susan, Eduamaka is the first vice chairperson of the CPP, and the gentleman shouting is a deputy majority whip of parliament. He's also a member of parliament for Banda. Ahmed Ibrahim is his name.
Let's withdraw the old budget and bring it.
Okay, stop shouting, stop shouting. I have to do news on the hour, but before I do that though, please, 30 seconds. I need to ask you something. Why is it that the speaker is saying that? Why are you saying that the majority, or is it the speaker? Okay, the Speaker of Parliament has banned members of Parliament from using the expression tria in the House.
Oh, that is obvious. You see, Parliament.
Okay. Wait. We'll come and talk about. Let's do news on the hour, and then we'll come and do the discussions. And Chairman of the NDP, Dr. Josiah, is suing the NDC. So we're looking at the headlines we have on the hour, and then we'll be right back. Headlines on the hour, then we'll be right back. So we do some 7 minutes, and then we take a wrap. According to the majority leader, but also the Speaker of Parliament, Edward Doajaho, he's banned the use of he's banned Parliament or members of Parliament from using the expression tria in the House. According to the Speaker, the expression, which is frequently used by MPs in the House in recent times, is not only unparliamentary but also insulting. The Speaker gave the directive after the MP for Subin, Isaac Osei, sought his guidance on the use of the word on the floor of the House. And this is how the MP for Subin put it. Mr. Speaker, when the Honourable Majority Leader was speaking, a lot of MPs said cheer. So I want to know if it is parliamentary, because last week people cheered. Today people are cheering, and tomorrow people will cheer, because we still do not know who said cheer.
Well, I mean, I don't know about parliamentary language itself, but I know that cheer it's an expression of disgust at something that you're saying, or an expression to show that you know
some level of satirism, I guess. That has gripped our society. Because she has been there all the time. Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not a new thing. It just happened to have gained political
prominence.
Okay. And for my mind, if the DC had not reacted to it, it would have just gone on, and we would not be having this good laugh. With Parliament, now it has an adjective, and there's a present continuous, future tense to it, and everything like that. But I guess that Parliament has its own language that they speak there. And so if they determine that cheer is not, something that they should say, fine. I mean, there are many things that we can say cheer. When somebody says something and you actually generally think that this, there are cheer moments in all, but, like all adults, you can hold your tongue, when you have to. And I think that maybe, parliamentarians should be able to, even though there will be cheer moments in Parliament, they should be able to hold their tongue and, just keep it in.
Member of Parliament, what is unparliamentary language? When you say that as a member of Parliament, what do you mean?
Yeah, if you read, Parliament is a house of practice and procedure.
But some of the actions that you put up are very unparliamentary. Yourselves as MPs.
Clearly speaking, this is the book that governs debate in Parliament, or how we practice in Parliament. And when you read our standing orders, Order 93-2, and if you will permit me, I will read it to the hearing of the general public.
Please do.
Order 93-2, it shall be out of order to use offensive, abusive, insulting, blasphemous or unbecoming words, or to impute improper motives to any other member, or to make personal allusions. So Parliament is a house of practice and procedure, and this is any word that you use in Parliament should go in accordance with this book that I'm holding here. Even in our local parliaments, when somebody says chair, you speak all of a sudden somebody knows chair. It means it's not only insultive, it's abusive in addition. And therefore, if care is not taken and we allow such words to take place in our exemplary house, that even students come, children come, debates are telecast. Everybody view what is happening in Parliament through their tellies and all those things. It's not taken, and we allow all those things to go by. The name honorable, that title that is given to every member who is elected to represent the constituency in that house, will continuously continue to erode. And therefore, we must not only protect the dignity and sanity of Parliament, we must protect the institution for posterity. And that is why we are called honorable. Once honorable, forever honorable. And once you avail yourself for that challenge, you must walk the talk. So you don't go and sit there and forget what is happening. So cheer.
Okay.
You see, even Ghanaians, some Ghanaians were even calling for the DC who said that to have even been brought to book because of...
Well, I think he's been reprimanded in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. So once the person who did that has been reprimanded, why should honorable members...
It wasn't the DC who said the chair.
No, he was
reacting to the chair.
He was a reactor to the
chair. Yes, he was a reactor to the chair.
And don't forget that that DC too was a former member of Parliament.
Well,
so he was
a former member of Parliament. So as a matter of fact, this is an attitude that we should be encouraged. As Ghanaians, we must emulate the good deeds of people and not the bad deeds of people. And that is in this regard that the Speaker ruled that thing should be out of order. And therefore nobody...
Now in Parliament, I know that when you speak, when somebody is making a contribution, once you don't have your microphone on, you see that the backbenchers will sometimes make some of these insinuations and make some of these comments. Is that accepted? I mean, because those are not public comments.
Exactly, that is what happened. An honorable member.
Because nobody put on the mic and said.
You don't put on the mic, but as honorable member, that's why the honorable member was. Because nobody put up the mic yesterday and cheered, but people put up the mics and the background noise was cheer. People knew very well that what they were doing was bad, but they were doing. That's why the honorable member raised it.
Okay.
So in nowhere can you even use it, whether in the mic or out of the mic, so long as you are in Parliament. You know, Parliament, our standing orders give discretionary powers to the Speaker. And therefore, once he has ruled that it is out of order, if members disobey that order, there are drastic steps the Speaker can take, even to the extent of naming a member or ordering the marshal to even pull you out of the chamber. There are a lot of things that the Speaker can do. So it is not just for granted that he said it. He used it and said that, oh, it is out of order. And once he said that the Speaker is the most respected person, don't forget that he's the number 3 in the country. And our standing orders affirm to all those kind of things. So definitely once he has said it, I think honorable members will bow.
Well, basically, I think that, you know, you say chair when somebody's saying something and you think is incredible or it's not to be believed, or you're just, it's an expression of disgust with something. You understand?
Yeah, I think in a traditional parlance or sense,
yes,
it's an expression of disgust towards something. Yes,
yeah. And the thing is that sometimes it may be involuntary, but like how the DC couldn't find out who said chair, I'm sure that sometimes the Speaker will not be able to
find out who said
chair in Parliament also.
And try even to
so for my mind,
draw the Speaker's attention.
So for
like
my
honorable member did. You know, the Speaker has been hearing the background noise. Chair. Members know that it is bad. So, chair.
Yes, what I'm saying is that
the person will not say it's a form of echo.
May be banned as a legal thing, but like all things that happen,
in an informal way,
you
can say it in your house.
Who said chair?
And then the Speaker will go, who said chair?
In your house, but not in the House of Parliament.
Who said chair?
Okay. If it's not chair, we'll find something else to do. Look, chair goes with Apito. Somebody will not say chair, but it's the same
no,
thing.
Apito is also insulting.
Yeah, it's all
used in the same context. Then we'll be banning.
So how would you describe the demolition by the National Security Coordinator?
Big.
Well, so that way, on the AM Talk this morning, on the AM Show, which is live on the Joy News channel of Multi TV. And Susan Idua-Mankwa, first vice chairperson of the CPP, she contested in my area, Tema West. I saw her posters around Ajekojo, so I wanted to contest again. I voted for her last time. I'll vote again. I'm sure I'll be part of the lobbying so that she becomes a member of parliament for the area. Ahmed
And
Ibrahim.
go and be trying.
No, she won't try. Member of parliament of Banda in the Bonafu region, but also a deputy majority whip in parliament. Thanks for joining us this morning. And that'll be it for now. Next, we bring you AMBs.